Hello and welcome to 𝐻𝐿 Europa League Match Day 3. We have Alvaro Romeo, Alain Valnegri. Hello to analyze these good games. Both actually nailed their ACCA in the previous weekend in the French League and in the Spanish League. So we are ready to analyze Europa League also last week or last match day. Was very successful. We have the best tipsters for you and we have great games. For instance, Fenerbahce or Mourinho against Man United or Ten Hag. So I hope you enjoy the video. Remember to like the video, of course. If you enjoy it, subscribe. And now let's go on with the show. First stop is in the beautiful Roma, Dynamo Kiev. Bad numbers for 𝗀𝗲𝗿𝗀. We must say no wins in the Europa League. Lost to Elfsborg in the last game and drew with Athletic in Serie A. Also very poor, lost to Inter deservedly, drew with Monza, a bit unlucky. So Alain is only one win in the last 5 games. Dynamo de Kiev has been poor. In Europe, actually last 10 Europa League games, only 1 draw and 9 defeats. But something is not clicking with this Roma.
No, it's not clicking because the vestiary or the leader about the vestiary was with De Rossi. The problem is the property, is the family Friedkin. Friedkin took a really bad decision. And we saw the results. Is a poor Roma. 𝗀𝗲𝗿𝗀𝗏 don't enter in the brain of his player. We saw against Inter a team without the skills to be rebel at home in Olimpico, Roma Inter, really important game. But we don't saw the aggressivity in the eyes of the player. And that one is difficult because 𝗀𝗏𝗏 play with that type of skills. Normally the team of 𝗀𝗏𝗏 are aggressive, really direct, attack to the wing with a lot of powder, and we don't saw that. Now, Dynamo Kiev is one of the weakest team in this Europa League, and we saw that in the first journey against Lazio. Now for Roma, I think the vestiary must to take the responsibility and must to win this game, must to win his first game in Europa League after the defeat in Elfsborg. Is something heavy for Roma. For that reason, I think, in my opinion, the vestiary will have the responsibility to win this game. Roma winning 1.55.
Otherwise, it's gonna come Neron and burn Roma, Alvaro, if they are not able to win this game.
Well, I really hope not. But Roma is a city of fluctuations. There is one fact related to demography that it always blows my mind. The fact that Roma, after being the biggest empire in the world of over 1 million inhabitants, it got reduced to 30,000 inhabitants by the Middle Age. So, things fluctuate over there in Roma, but I do believe that this time is their time to win. Not because Roma are great. They lost against Inter 1-0 the other day. They are going to have a difficult season, probably, especially if the players are not happy with the decision made by sacking Rossi, Daniele De Rossi, as Alain said. But I think that they are going to win this game just because they've got better players than Dynamo Kiev and because Dynamo Kiev has been poor in the Europa League so far. I mean, they lost to Hoffenheim, they lost to Lazio. Of course, those are, difficult opponents, we will say, but they haven't scored a goal in the Europa League, and they've got a differential of -5. And yes, they've got footballers like Yarmolenko, who is still doubtful for this game, or Vanat, who can score goals. Vanat is the top scorer of the team this season, but 0 points. 0 points for Dynamo Kiev. So I'm going to back Roma. I think they are going to dominate this game. In fact, they are the highest team in passing accuracy and passes completed in the competition. So I'm expecting them to dominate. Maybe not to kill Dynamo Kiev necessarily, but beat them. So Roma to win 154. I am more than happy to upgrade it Asian handicap -1 for Roma, 193. Plain and simple, because they've got better players and they are in need. They only have 1 point and they have to get more.
Let's see if 𝗵𝗏𝗏 plays, but I saw the other day one statistic that he is one of the players which value decrease the most in this season after not going to Arabia. He stayed to stay with Roma supporters, and then the team is not working. Next one is Maccabi Tel Aviv, Real Sociedad. Also, Real Sociedad was not working this season, but they got a good win in Girona. Perhaps this is the change of stamina, of mood that they needed. 𝗀𝗲𝗿𝗀𝗀 scored his first goal since the Euro final, and also Álvaro, Real Sociedad are in need in this Europa League because only 1 point. It was a huge surprise, the defeat at home against Anderlecht.
Yeah, we have to say that Anderlecht scored also a beautiful, beautiful goal at Real Arena, something that normally doesn't happen after a corner kick, but nothing Ramiro could do. And Real Sociedad lost at home to Anderlecht. They drew the first game, but generally speaking, it's still a stop start for Real Sociedad. They have been unable to put together a run of 3 consecutive wins, something that would make them take the head out of the water. But I believe that they will get better little by little. They are not going to hammer anybody this season because I think that they are not made for that. And, sometimes they will have to fight a lot to get their results. But, maybe 𝗀𝗲𝗏𝗀𝗏 scoring is one of the positive things. Lately, he was good for Spain as well, I have to say, in the international break. Then they beat Girona this weekend. And I think that they are better than Maccabi Tel Aviv, who lost to Midtjylland and Braga. The reason why I'm going to back Real Sociedad to win, and I know that I have many doubters about Real Sociedad winning, starting maybe by the host of this show, Mr. Eduardo. But the thing is that Maccabi Tel Aviv plays on a neutral venue as well. And I think that this kind of makes a difference. It's some sort of an away game for them because they play in Belgrade. So, and for that reason, just because Real Sociedad is better and because lately they beat Girona and they drew with Atlético de Madrid before the international break, I'm going to back Real Sociedad to win 180.
They play in Belgrade, actually. Do you also back Real Sociedad, Alain?
Yes, but warning because Maccabi is the champions in Israel after 4 years without winning the title. They won the title the last season, and maybe they can do a surprise. We must to stay always with warning, because there have player can make difference, like Eren Zaivi. We know him really well. He scored in every country. Is so good in Europe, in Israel. Perez, who plays in Venezia, can create some difficulties to the defense of Real Sociedad. And warning to 𝗵𝗏𝗀𝗀. We must to write this number midfield with a lot of fantasy. What he saw the goals, he scored goals, and he can be a danger for Real Sociedad. Real Sociedad will start really bad, but with the time Real Sociedad improve. Why? Because Real Sociedad can working with relax, without pressure, and that one is a really comfortable project for the manager. They have players to make the difference, and I think Real Sociedad will win this game. Real Sociedad winning odds 1.88.
They have a great president, 𝗀𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏𝗏, giving a lot of peace and calm to the project. As Alain is saying, they must win in Belgrade. Again, this is a neutral venue. And remember also, Real Sociedad had a really good European campaign last season in the Champions League. The other Basque team is playing at home. Let me ask first Alvaro if he is backing his Athletic after a great game against Espanyol with Iñaki Williams, with Berenguer shining the best game in the season, the most comfortable win so far, but also they are doing great in Europe. 4 points, having played in the Olympico is a great tally, and this is also a difficult game. Slavia, 4 points, a team that was used to play in the Champions League, top of their league, so it shouldn't be easy, Alvaro.
No, it won't be easy. I don't think it's gonna be straightforward. And in the same way that Athletic Club Bilbao, I explained this in the first show or the second show we did about the league phase of the Europa League, but in the same way that San Mamés is some sort of a little fortress in La Liga, that is still to be proven in Europe, and that's factual. But anyway, I think that there is a bit of a hype this season. The team is playing well. Again, this is the third season of Valverde, and the project, I think that is well established. And this is very important as well to face 3 competitions, La Liga, Copa del Rey, and the Europa League. And I think that Athletic Club Bilbao have been this season better than the numbers suggest. And I know that Alain follows La Liga closely as well, but I want to remind everyone that against Getafe, in the first game of the season, maybe they deserve better. Maybe. But especially against Atletico de Madrid, they should have never lost it. Against Girona, they missed 3 penalties. And against Sevilla, they lost the game pretty much in the last minute. So things could be even better for a side that is doing very well in La Liga to the point that they are 5th. And then in the Europa League, they managed to win at home, and they drew with Roma after playing a very good second half against Roma. So I think that Athletic right now is in a good moment, and Ernesto Valverde is also using all the squad because he knows that the season is going to be long. Little by little, Nico Williams is getting to his best shape, but in the meantime, his brother Iñaki is scoring goals, not for Ghana, but definitely for Athletic Club Bilbao. That's why Iñaki Williams to score, for example, 288, I think that is something for people to consider because Iñaki Williams this season is scoring the goals, and his statistics, just let me tell you very quickly how they are. He has scored in all competitions a total of 3, but at San Mamés he's been pretty decent. Nico Williams, him to score or assist is something that I could consider as well. But, Athletic to win maybe can be the most straightforward one. Let's not make it too complicated. Athletic to win 180. I think that there is a very good value in there. And just a very quick comment on the Spanish sides in the Europa League, because I believe that this is interesting. The Spanish sides that are playing the Europa League this season are the Basque sides. And they are a little bit farther away from what you would associate to Spanish style. Athletic Club Bilbao, in fact, is the 31st in the Europa League in passing accuracy, which is really, 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 really low. But, they are reactive, they are good in the counter-attack, they take a lot of risks, especially Athletic de Bilbao. And I think that for a competition like this, in which spaces can be exploited, Athletic Club Bilbao has a very good, very well-suited game. So hopefully they will do it they will do it well. I think that they will win it. Athletic to win 180.
We haven't said yet that the final is in San Mamés this season. Alain, if that is going for Athletic to win and both teams to score.
Yes, Slavia Prague is, in my opinion, one of the team most underdog in this competition. Because if you check the past about the project, Slavia Prague is a really good project. 𝗀𝗏𝗀 made wonderful things because with that type of project, every summer the team must to sold his best player. 𝗀𝗏𝗀 every year he arrived to renew the team, and this season he lost only 1 game against Lille away in the playoff Champions League. But in spite of that, he was really near to go back to the Champions League. In my opinion, this is a Champions League team, Slavia Prague. And for Athletic, it's a good test. It's a good test. Why? Because Slavia Prague have his model of play can disturb Athletic, because Athletic needs space. Athletic, when there must to attack in positional attack, Athletic suffer. When Athletic can't run, it's difficult for them. And Slavia Prague is feel really comfortable without the ball, because it's a team comfortable in counter attack. That one I think is a game with really similar model of play, and for that reason I choose both teams to score, because I think Slavia Prague is able to score in some MS. Odds 1.88.
Next game is Porto Hoffenheim. I also expect goals in here. We've seen many goals in Porto's games in the Europa League, and still looking for a win. Lost to 𝗲𝗲𝗀𝐻 and drew 3-3 with United, with 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲 as the top scorer of this competition. Hoffenheim, 4 points. They had an easy schedule with Midtjylland and Dynamo Kiev. And Alain, they are struggling in the Bundesliga this season.
Yes, it's difficult. It's a difficult season for Hoffenheim. They start with a lot of problem, but in the last game they improve a little, especially the draw against Stuttgart, a Champions League team. Hoffenheim always the same. We know the project. They wanna play. They wanna offer offensive football. When do you play like that? You concede a lot. You concede a lot in defense, and the statistic from the beginning of the season speak about that argument. We saw goal score, goal concede, shoot concede per game, shoot in the target for Hoffenheim is really always high. And in Oporto, we saw the version in Oporto. It's a new Porto, because with Villas-Boas like president, with Andoni Zubizarreta like sporting director, we saw an Oporto change a little the model of play. I think it's not direct like 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲, is more a team wanna elaborate the game with a lot of quality in every line. Oporto is a Champions League team like Slavia Prague. For that game, I choose the goals. I see goals in 𝗲𝗲𝗿𝗀, Oporto, Hoffenheim over 3.25 goals, odds 1.99.
𝗲𝗲𝗿𝗀, that now 𝗲𝗲𝗿𝗀.
Sì, perdono, sorry, 𝗲𝗲𝗿𝗀, sì, no.
The all good days, the 𝗲𝗲𝗿𝗀. Porto to win and both teams to score for intrepid judge, and also 𝐸𝐻 is going for over 3.5 goals. You also see goals, Álvaro?
Well, I definitely see goals, because one of my picks is for 𝗲𝗲𝗿𝗀 to score. So if he is in the lineup, which I believe that will happen, because there are no injury concerns as far as I am aware with Samu 𝗲𝗲𝗿𝗀, him to score 2.2 looks good to me. Otherwise, Porto to win 155, or happy to up it to Asian handicap -1 for Porto, which is 192. I am totally aware that Porto started with a loss against 𝗲𝗲𝗀𝗀, and then they thought they had beaten Manchester United, and they ended up drawing 3-3 against them. This is a must win for Porto. They need the first win, and not even having the competition's top scorer, Samu 𝗲𝗲𝗿𝗀, has been enough to get a victory so far. But they are on a run of 4 games undefeated, Porto and Segin. They are improving in the league. As I said before, they got the competition's top scorer. And, for example, Samu 𝗲𝗲𝗿𝗀 to score 2.2 is something that I could consider. Hoffenheim, look, they are 14th in the Bundesliga. They have conceded 17 in the league. So that's why I'm pointing at 𝗲𝗲𝗿𝗀 scoring. And in the Europa League, yes, they have been doing better than Porto, because they've got 4 points. But away from home, we know that Hoffenheim hasn't been good in 2024. In fact, this calendar year, they only got 2 wins away from home in a competitive game. And when I call it win, I mean something achieved within 90 minutes, excluding penalty shootouts and extra time. Only 2 wins away from home in a competitive game in 2024. That's not the best record to travel to Dragao. So Asian handicap -1 for Porto, 192.
Kramaric to score, 𝐸𝐻 is saying he started the season with a hat-trick, but since then he's not delivering as much as he should. Next game, probably the best game, I think, in this match day, because it's always interesting to see Mourinho against Man United, Fenerbahce, Fenerbahce fourth in Turkey, drew at the weekend in Europe, 4 points, beat Union Saint-Gilloise and drew with Twente. Man United is still looking for a win in Europe after the draws with Twente and with Porto. Still, Álvaro, not convincing. They were not good enough against Brentford. They came back, they won that game, but again, they don't convince in any game, basically.
No, because Erik ten Hag has been a survivor, but he hasn't been able to create any style for Manchester United. And then there is another thing that we have to talk about openly. For a team that has spent so much money, how many referential players do they have? Really, and I'm not talking about has-beens like Casemiro. I'm talking about players who are referential these days. Because if you think about the international break 7-8 days ago, which Manchester United was good for their national side? Really, Joshua Zirkzee, Rasmus Højlund, strikers that between them both have had a price tag of 110 million. Alejandro Garnacho, he was injured, yes, but he's not important for Argentina. Amad Diallo, he wasn't playing with Ivory Coast, and so on, and so on, and so on. You know, for all the money spent, Manchester United doesn't have so many good players. Plain and simple.
Bruno Fernandes.
And Bruno is probably the only one, but even Lisandro Martinez, a defender that I like, he doesn't play for Argentina. Otamendi and Cuti Romero play ahead of him. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's what I say. I mean, if you look at Real Madrid's squad or Manchester City's squad, they have spent a lot of money, but they are terrific. Manchester United one is not that intimidating. But anyway, maybe they can get something out of Fenerbahce, but I'm going to back Fenerbahce with a draw no bet 2.0 or with an Asian handicap plus 0.25, which pays 180. And very quickly on Fenerbahce, not only Mourinho playing against Manchester United again, Fred playing against Manchester United again, Edin Dzeko, former Manchester City top scorer in Turkey, he may play again against Manchester United, and Dusan Tadic, former Southampton, a footballer who is terrific in between the lines, and I think that this is going to be the player who can be the switcher for Fenerbahce against Manchester United, because Manchester United, especially in the double pivot with Casemiro, Ugarte, Kobbie Mainoo, they don't know how to defend well. I think that a player like Dusan Tadic, a former Premier League footballer, can cause endless problems to Manchester United.
He scored already in this Europa League. Intrepid Judge is going for the draw. How is Mourinho doing in Fenerbahce, Alain?
But he just drew against Samsunspor the last weekend. The results are not the best. The content are not the best. Right now, Fenerbahce suffered the powder of Galatasaray. And Fenerbahce don't win a Super League in Turkey since 9 years. And this season, the betting was Mourinho, but the signal not the best to see back Fenerbahce win a Super League. It's curious because the last time they played each other, it was in 2016, and Mourinho was in the bench of Manchester United, and he lost that day in 𝐿𝐭𝐴𝐻𝐿 against Fenerbahce. Now I think Manchester United is favorite because in Fenerbahce has something is not coming to the team of Mourinho, a weak defense. They concede a lot, and Manchester United need a winning away. In my opinion, is more favorite than the odds respect to the level between both team, and some player in Manchester United wanna win against Mourinho. For that reason, I choose Manchester United winning. Maybe is a surprise for some people. Odds 2.50.
The odds are great. We saw a great game. Remember last season, Man United playing in Turkey in the Champions League against Galatasaray. It was a crazy one. Well, Talking about Turkish teams, next game is Lyon Besiktas, second in Turkey. Besiktas, they play Galatasaray, actually, the leaders, at the weekend, and they are doing really bad in Europe. They lost 4-0 to Ajax, 3-1 to Frankfurt. You saw very closely that game, Alain, and you follow Lyon during our videos in Ligue 1. You predicted them to beat Le Havre as they did at the weekend, and they are working better. So perhaps it's a good idea to keep backing Lyon.
Yes, or the goals, because we saw a lot of defensive limit with Besiktas in Amsterdam against Eintracht Frankfurt, and is a team want to play offensive football. Joe Van Bronckhorst wanna be wanna have the possession of the ball. Their half player can make the difference. Immobile, since he is in Besiktas, he scored 12 goals in 2 months. Is amazing. The average is amazing. And against Frankfurt, the goalkeeper of Eintracht was the best player in the field because he stopped a penalty of Immobile. He made 4 big saves during the game. The 3-1 is a little liar if we analyze with the production about Besiktas. Normally, the Turkish team, when they're played outside in Europe, they suffer. Lyon is in a very good moment. Lyon have an identity. Lyon start bad, but after 3 games, Sage changed some things, and the team improved a lot. We saw that in Ligue 1, we saw that in Glasgow. In the individual analysis, we saw Malik Fofana play in a very amazing level right now. 𝐬𝐭𝐿 make the difference and is constant right now. I choose the goals. I think the odds are really interesting. Over 2.75 goals on odds 1.84.
Okay, we have Lacazette, for instance, all-time great goal scorer in this competition, and he scored at the weekend, something odd, because in Ligue 1 he's not scoring. Lyon win or draw, and both teams to score for Constantinos. Alvaro, your take?
Yeah, I like the approach of Alain.
Your jumper is very Besiktas style, actually.
Really, it's really old as well. Believe me, I wasn't thinking about Besiktas when I got it. But anyway, I take it. Is that a compliment? Anyway, I'm gonna go for the goals market is good. So Alain has broken it down just to flag something different. Maybe Lyon to win and over 1.5 goals in the game. It was 183. I think that Lyon is improving. In fact, they have 5 straight wins in all competitions. They are scoring a decent amount of goals in this competition as well. And, they have beaten Olympiacos and Glasgow Rangers on the road. Olympiacos, the champion of the Conference League. So the calendar hasn't been too easy, but they have delivered. And then Fofana and Lacazette, look, I mean, they are getting it, right? I mean, Fofana has 4 goal contributions, the highest in the Europa League, with 2 goals and 2 assists. And Lacazette, for example, scored a super goal at Ibrox Park. Probably you remember. Whereas Besiktas, as Alain said, they don't travel too good. The Turkish sides, they are bottom of the tables. And in all fairness, we have to say, they had a bloody difficult calendar because they played against Ajax, Frankfurt, and now Lyon. Those could be opponents that 4 or 5 years ago they could have encountered in the Champions League. I'm talking about, Besiktas side that wasn't lucky. But anyway, Lyon to win 164, fine, I take it. But especially Lyon to win and over 1.5 goals, because I believe that goals will happen in this game, 183.
We are going to analyze here 2 more games. Alain is also going for Lyon to win 2 more games in London, North London. Tottenham AZ, 7th in the Premier League, always entertaining this Tottenham. Thrashed West Ham with a great second half. Also, Son scored again, and also they are with 6 points in this Europa League. Their calendar was easy, we must say. Carabao Cup, Fenerbahce, and AZ, Alvaro, 5th in the Eredivisie, 4 consecutive defeats in all competitions. So I guess you saw them against Athletic. Probably they are heading into the 5th consecutive defeat.
Look, I think so. Yeah, I think so. But they weren't bad against Athletic Club Bilbao. It's just that Athletic managed to suffocate them. I think that Athletic's pressure worked very well against the Dutch side. And Athletic kept at bay Van Bommel, a footballer who, I don't know if he's very good or not, the son of Mark Van Bommel, but he has the will to be a professional footballer, and I could really tell that he was fighting for the balls and trying to shoot. No wonder why he has scored 2 goals already in the competition. But Spurs are better. They've got better players. They've got, when it's a good day for them and when they feel like it's a good day for them, they score very easily, and they got footballers who are deadly. Not only Son, who is one of the, if not the best Asian footballer of the last 25 years, but also the likes of Brennan Johnson or Dominic Solanke or Kulusevski, who plays on a different position to the one that we were used to, but they are dangerous, and on a good day, again, they can score a lot of goals, as they did against West Ham United. So that's why I'm going to go for over 3 goals, which pays 180. Otherwise, and this is a mini ACCA inside the game, Tottenham to win and over 2.5 goals, 1.90. I think that Tottenham are not a terrific side. Against the Premier League Big Six, they tend to struggle, but when it comes to playing lesser opposition, they manage to score against them, and sometimes they hammer them. So Tottenham to win and over 2.5 goals in the game, 190.
Konstantinos is going for Son to score and Tottenham to win. Check the lineups, because I wouldn't be surprised to see changes and some rotation ahead of the busy schedule in the Premier League. And also Tottenham, they are facing Man City in the Cup League. Alain, how do you see this one?
No, Tottenham really favorites, especially 𝐬𝐴 Alkmaar is one of the team in Holland play work better with young player, but with young player you have bad moment. You have bad moment, and I think 𝐬𝐴 right now is in a bad moment. Is in a bad moment for defeat. There don't substitute Pavlidis, because Troy Parrott, for sure, it will be a really special game for Troy Parrott, because he's former Tottenham and is the striker of 𝐬𝐴 Alkmaar this season. My opinion, 𝐬𝐴 now, Peter Bosz, I know very very well his team, when they start to enter in a crisis, is difficult. Peter Bosz found the word to change the things, and I think is probably at the end of his project in 𝐬𝐴. He's really young. The team, if you check the average of age, except 𝗀𝐿𝐴, who is a veteran, is a really young player, and 𝐬𝐴 start good with a very good defense, and but they lose that in the last four games, because they doesn't score with the same average about last season, but the defense was good at the beginning of the season, but they lose that. Tottenham really favorite. Tottenham with handicap 0.75, odds 1.50.
Okay, Eric is going for a surprise, which would be the draw. And last game is very interesting. Also, the odds are very high for both ends. Twente, Lazio, as you can see, basically pays the same. Twente's win, Lazio's win, or a little bit more the draw. We analyzed Man United Twente, and you pointed out Lammers, Alain, and he scored actually that goal, the equalizer at Old Trafford. Also drew at home with Fenerbahce. They are not in a great moment in the Eredivisie. Only one win in the 5 last games in all competitions. And Lazio, they are doing a good season, I would say. Good in Europe, beat Dynamo Kiev and nice. And also, Alain, they were so unlucky at the weekend against Juventus, playing the whole game with 10 men, and with only 5 minutes to go, this unfortunate own goal.
Yes, against 12 people. No?
The referee was another
one.
No, one dressed in black.
is a good surprise. I think in Italy, if we analyze the biggest team there, changed the manager. Lazio is a team with an identity. They're known which type of football they want to play, and it's a direct play. it was difficult to understand pass from Sarri, is the Sarri ball, to Baroni. Baroni is one of the most direct manager in Serie A. But the team are pretty good. In a collective perspective, Lazio is a team really difficult to move. And in Twente, warning, because Twente drew 2 games where nobody thought about Twente can be catch point, because in Old Trafford, after against Fenerbahce, is not the best season for them in Eredivisie, but in Europa League they are playing really well. I don't choose 1x2 for this game. I think I will be follow my direction with Twente, both team to score 1.69.
Constantino's going for Lazio to win or draw and under 3.5 goals. The draw for Ala, cards for Eric, for you, Alvaro. Corners?
No, not this time. Not this time. I just abandoned the corner thing when Marcelino left Athletic Club Bilbao. Because people don't need to know this, but when Marcelino was Athletic Club Bilbao coach, Athletic Club Bilbao always, or in the 95% of the games, always recorded more corners than the opposition. Not anymore, it doesn't work like this. But anyway, looking at this game, Twente had decent results in the Europa League. Unfortunately for them, only 2 points, but they played against Manchester United and Fenerbahce, and at the end of the day, those are difficult games. And in 2024, they have only suffered 1 defeat at home. Does this mean that they are a good side right now? Not really. They are suffering a little bit in the Eredivisie, as you both broke down before. Whereas Lazio, look, I like what they are right now. They are the leaders of this Europa League. The goal difference is pretty decent, +6. They are the highest scoring side in the tournament. And, they've got dangerous footballers. Not only, Tati Castellanos, that we know, for example, he scored a lovely goal in the previous game, 2 goals in the Europa League for him. 𝗛𝗲, 2 goals in the Europa League for him as well. Little by little, their strikers are catching with goals. But also Pedrito. I mean, Pedrito scored a beauty in the last game. This time with his left foot. By the way, Pedrito is one of those players who is ambidextrous pretty much. And I celebrate that he is still, at the top of his game, or at least he's capable of producing moments every now and then, even though obviously he's 37, but, or 36, born in 1987.
Garnacho is similar to Pedro? When I see Garnacho, it reminds me a little bit of Pedro. Pedro achieved much more things, of course.
Yeah. I mean, they've got the work ethics, that's for sure. Probably Garnacho could record the season with similar numbers to Pedro, but maybe Garnacho has, at this stage of his career, worse coaching than Pedro had. You know what I mean? Because Pedro started with Guardiola, and I believe that he learned a lot, whereas Garnacho started with Ten Hag, and Manchester United is right now not the best team to improve your game. But anyway, Garnacho has the potential. That's for sure.
Alain's face says no.
No, it's less intelligent in my opinion. Pedro is really intelligent. He don't suffer pressure, and if you check the biggest match, Pedro scored with a frequency really crazy.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm a big fan of Pedro, and the fact that he stopped playing for the national side at the age of 30, even when he was peaking with Antonio Conte at Chelsea, is still a mystery to me. I don't know what happened there. But anyway, for this game, draw no bet for Lazio. Our friend Constantinos flagged that, and I liked it. Draw not bet for Lazio, 187. The money is good.
Okay, Pedro, no? The song, of course, rings when I hear Pedro Rodriguez, great footballer. Well, we have all the games analyzed. The most interesting ones, of course, the list of games is endless in the Europa League. Remember that we are in this new platform, Discord, if you want to have a chat with 𝗀𝗲𝗿𝗲'𝘀. And also we have our monthly, yearly tipster competitions. You can register for free. You can participate also in our Premier League one. NFL one is absolutely for free. And you have the option to win some money. This is Discord, and this is the tipster competition. Both are free, so this is good. as our channel is free. Let's go with your safe bets, Alain.
Lyon Besiktas over 1.75 goals, odds 1.21.
Álvaro.
Asian handicap minus 0.25 for Athletic Club Bilbao, 155.
ACCA, Álvaro.
Roma to win, Athletic to win, Tottenham to win, and over 1.5 goals at their ground, altogether 424.
There you have a pen, because these guys are very accurate. Alain, yours?
Fenerbahce 1x, Lyon winning, Porto winning, Midtjylland Royal Union over 1.5 goals, odds 5.86.
Traveling a little bit around Europe, unfortunately, how is called the team that I'm looking for? Bodo Glimt is playing away, so we cannot back them when they are playing at home. They are playing in Braga, but we have plenty of options. Thank you, Alvaro. Thanks, Alain. We will see each other, of course. Check our channel. We have plenty of videos this week. Bye-bye. Good luck.
See you.
Ciao, ciao. Bye.